Islam is a major world religion with an estimated 1.8 billion followers. It's the second largest religion in the world, second only to Christianity with 2.4 billion followers. In over 50 countries, it is the dominant religion and makes up the majority of the population. The faith is built on the teachings of Muhammad, the messenger of Allah, God, and followers are widely known as Muslims. The story of Muhammad. Muhammad was born around 570 AD in the city of Makkah in Arabia, which we now know as Mecca. When Muslims mention Muhammad, they use the Arabic phrase Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, meaning blessings and peace of Allah be upon him. Muslims believe that there is only one true God, Allah, and that he sent many messengers and prophets to earth to spread the message of Islam and to tell people what is right and what is wrong. Muhammad is the last of those prophets following the path of Musa, Moses, Ibrahim, Abraham, and Isa, Jesus, amongst others. It's easy to see how there are deep connections between Islam, Judaism, and Christianity. Muhammad never knew his father, as he died before Muhammad was born, and sadly at the age of 6 he also lost his mother. He was then brought up by his grandfather, who was very good to him, but again sadness struck, as the grandfather died when Muhammad was 8. From then he became the ward of his uncle, and was a good and obedient nephew. As Muhammad grew up, he tended sheep for his uncle, and became known as a very wise young man. Meanwhile, many people in Makkah had grown selfish and violent, ignoring the wise words of previous prophets. At the age of 25, Muhammad met Khadijah, a wealthy widow, and he started working for her. She soon heard tales of Muhammad's kindness and also unusual occurrences. For example, he and a servant travelled through the desert in the blazing heat, but everywhere they went, a small cloud followed and gave them shade. He was a clever businessman, and Khadijah fell in love with him, even though he was 15 years younger than her. A marriage was arranged, and the two were very happy and lived in wealth and prosperity. When Muhammad was 35, he was called upon to settle a huge dispute that threatened to send Arabia to war. He continued to work for the people and help the poor, including adopting 2 of his uncle's children. His wife gave birth to 3 sons and 4 daughters, but sadly none of the sons lived. At the age of 40, during one of his many periods alone in prayer, Allah sent the angel Gabriel, to give teachings to Muhammad. The Quran is a record of the exact words of Allah brought to earth through the angel Jibril to Muhammad. Muhammad then taught that there is only one God and that Allah created everything and there is nothing like him. This is recorded in the Quran. For the next 3 years, Muhammad preached to the people around him, but only 30 followers remained steadfast. The local priests plotted against Muhammad. Every family was told that they had to beat any followers of Muhammad and then imprison them. Then the priests tried to tempt Muhammad to join their religion with a fortune and the chance to be chief. He rejected them all. Muhammad performed a number of signs to show that he was doing Allah's work, and the number of followers grew and grew. Muslims follow Muhammad's example as the best person that ever lived on earth. He had a wonderful character and was able to give examples of being a son, father, and husband, a military leader and ruler, a teacher, neighbour, and friend by the way he lived his life. Muhammad was also well known for being wonderful with children and would often take the time to talk with them and play with them. Muhammad died on the 8th of June 632 AD at the age of 62 and was buried in Mecca. One of the 5 pillars of Islam is to make a pilgrimage, Hajj, to Mecca at least once in each person's lifetime. Ramadan. Ramadan is the 4th pillar of Islam and is an annual period of fasting to improve spiritual reflection, self-improvement, and heightened devotion and worship. The word itself means scorching, which also reflects that Muslims neither eat nor drink between the hours of sunrise and sunset for the 9th month of the Islamic year, around April. They do not smoke or swear. Many Muslims also take the month to read the whole of the Quran, and the month is split into thirds. The first part focuses on mercy. The second part focuses on forgiveness. The third part on emancipation from the fire. Some people are exempt from having to fast, for example, the elderly. Those who are ill, pregnant, or are travellers are also exempt, but they're expected to carry out the fasts at another time instead. Ramadan lasts for approximately 30 days. Many believe fasting should start between ages of 12 and 14, although some start as young as 10. Eid al-Fitr. At the end of Ramadan, there is a feast which lasts between 1 and 3 days, called Eid al-Fitr, meaning Feast of Breaking of the Fast. People listen to Eid prayers, give money to the poor and presents to the children, and eat festive meals.
Ramadan is a special time in the Islamic calendar.
Islam is the world's second largest religion with 1.8 billion followers around the globe. Those who follow Islam are called Muslims. There are 5 pillars of Islam, which are rules Muslims follow. They are trusting and understanding the Shahada, or the declaration of faith.
Prayer 5 times a day.
Giving money to charity.
Participating in Hajj at least once in your lifetime, which is a pilgrimage to a place called Mecca.
And fasting during the holy month of Ramadan.
Ramadan is a month in Islam where people from all around the world fast for a whole month.
Of course, having no food or water for a whole month is impossible.
Actually, we have a meal before dawn. It is called suhoor, so we can get ready to fast.
And then after a long day of fasting, we share an evening meal, which is called iftar.
When I first started, it was very hard, but then like a couple of days after, it got very easy because I obviously got more patient and I got stronger.
The hardest bit in Ramadan is when people eat in front of your face, like your siblings, and you just feel tempted to eat with them, like those delicious food that your parents are cooking for your little siblings, and you just have to stay strong.
But it is meant to be challenging, and it is really important for the Muslim community.
Of course, not everyone has to fast. People who are sick, pregnant, elderly, or young don't have to take part of it.
During Ramadan, it's important for us to focus on stuff like praying, reading our religious book called Quran, and also helping those in need.
When the month wraps up, we celebrate with a big party called Eid.
The best part about Eid is enjoying the reward for all the hard work during Ramadan.
We go and pray in the morning, and then after that we eat some food, talk about how it was, and we just have fun.
And of course, there's plenty of sweets.
My favorite thing about Eid is receiving gifts and giving them back to the little kids.
The thing that I really like about Eid is when you meet your relatives and friends that you didn't meet in a long time because they live far away.
It's not just for Muslims either. There are big celebrations all over the world and everyone is invited.